Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here again, playing more Kerbal Space Program. It is early morning, well, mid-afternoon, or mid-morning, I guess, at the Kerbal Space Center. We've just launched our three Ilumoho Dre ships, and I'm pretty sure this Dre transfer window is wrong. I don't know what I did on the program, but I ran it again just to be sure, and sure enough, there's one in about as many days as these guys. So we're going to redo that eventually. And actually, we're going to redo it. Tell you what, let's redo it now because I don't actually know for a fact. Let's go ahead and select one of these ships here. Dreloho. And I also want to jot down what each one of these ships has in them because I'm going to plan their which one goes where based on what they have. Oh, it's nighttime. We have no sun. Okay. Anyway, so I will be back in a little bit when I have all the relevant information. Okay, we're back. I have renamed my ships Dreloho 1, Dreloho 2, and Dreloho 3. Dreloho 1 is going to Dre, and I was sadly right the first time that it's 186 days away. It's just what you're going to have to do. It's the only ship with enough Delta V. It's the first one I launched, and it's the only one because I launched it, the only one I launched well. It's the only one with enough Delta V to get into orbit around anyone, and that is Dre. So, he's going to Dre. These two guys are going to Moho and Ilu when their transfer windows open. Don't really have a choice of which one goes to which right now. I'll just basically, when the Ilu transfer window opens, I'm going to burn to Ilu. And when the Moho transfer window opens, I'm going to burn to Moho. And I'll probably pick just whichever one is closest to the far side of the planet for Ilu. And then the near side of the planet for Moho. Doesn't really matter. So, first though, we're going to do our Kethane scanner burn. This is basically going to be just a potpourri episode. I'm going to do a bunch of burns. I'm probably going to get through, hopefully, these 4. And then maybe even do the 5 Duna probe lander. But the first is the Kethane scanner, so let's go ahead and jump to him and restore his maneuver node. The good old hardworking Kethane scanner. Okay, he is out in the middle of space. He's already set up on the maneuver node. Not much to see until we get there. I guess we could look back at Kerbal, although I don't think we can see it. Nope. We're far enough away that it doesn't matter. So let's just go ahead and crank up time until we get to our maneuver node. Yep, out here in space, not much to do. And he doesn't have anything on him but Kethane scanner, so he can't even do science while we're waiting. And my Kethane base is full of Kethane, so I don't need to worry about that. Let's go ahead and close this alarm and unpause. It's a 68 meter per second change, so I can't imagine it's going to be more than a couple seconds. Yeah, because, I mean, look at that. We have 1,000 Delta V in us in 25 seconds, so it's like less than a second. So let's go ahead and crank our time up here to 0 hour. Whoa. And we're ready to go. We're just gonna do this maneuver node exactly, as exact as we can get it. Starting at, say, 5 seconds till. And this vertical velocity thing is awesome, but it's always in the way. We're just, yeah. I'm not sure how much a single meter per second is going to matter. Let's look at our thing now. We've got an encounter with, apparently with Ike. So let's burn a little bit and see what this does. Okay, that's bad. So let's turn around here. Okay, we need to do this with a maneuver node. Oops. Oh, that's right. I know that sometimes conic mode 0 doesn't do the best job. Oh, wait, that's the problem. I'm not in conic mode. There we go. That's what I was expecting to see. I don't know why it was showing it the way it was, but we'll deal with it. Okay. I feel stupid. Okay. This is our current periapsis. So let's zero everything out here. Okay, this is our current trajectory into the Moho system. We want to get as close to Moho as possible. As flat as possible. And that drain counter won't really matter that much. Okay, radial burns, that kills it. Prograde also kills it. Basically, those do the same thing. And yeah, I don't need my. Actually, I don't know. I'm gonna once I get to here. That's when I'm gonna do this. Okay, so this is the direction I want to go, and I want to do a tiny, tiny, tiny burn. So I'm gonna ignore the maneuver node for the time being, and I'm just gonna do this burn. Like I said, a tiny, tiny, tiny burn. Let me try to correct this. Here's where I wish I had RCS. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Let's go ahead and kill this maneuver node. Yeah, excuse everything I said about Conic Patch Mode 0. I was not in Conic Patch Mode 0, which is why it screwed up. Okay, so here's my Duna periapsis. I'm not sure if the icon counter is actually going to screw this up. I think the icon counter actually is going to pull me into this periapsis, which is pretty freaking sweet. Like, I would have crashed into Moon, but into there. But instead, Ike is pulling me out, which is pretty sweet. So that's his maneuver. Good job. I hope you learned something about maneuver nodes. I know I did. And now the next thing that's going to happen is our Elu transfer. So we need to pick a ship to go to Elu, and we need to pick either 3 or 2. Guess it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and switch to 3. And then we'll go back to our alarm here and see what it says we need. The Elu transfer is going to take 2,000 Delta V, and this guy has 3,000, so that's plenty. The Moho transfer is going to take far less. It's only going to take 1,500 Delta V. Don't think that this is a crazy low number if you've ever tried to get to Moho. Because we're not landing or anything, we're just flying by it. So that's why that number is so low. So I think 3117, I think this is the guy that has more. So I'm going to go to Dreloho 2. Let's switch to him. I think he has less than 3,000 Delta V in him. No, he actually has more. So he's the one who's going to be going to Elu. Because Elu takes more Delta V, and I might as well have the most possible. So 3216, he is... the sun's going to be rising in a second here, which is pretty sweet. So he is going to be the Elu guy. And what we want to do is, ideally, when we get to about a day away, I am going to burn his engine to get him on a big wide orbit so that he comes into periapsis on the... Let's see, we're going to Elu, so we want to be on the dark side of the planet. Yes. So we're going to burn at periapsis, or we're going to burn at in the dark side to raise our apoapsis on the light side of the planet, so our orbit is exactly what this calls for. And then that way when we come back and we're at periapsis again, we'll be at that point, and then we can burn and zoom out of the system. That'll guarantee 2 things. 1, it'll give us a little bit of a head start on our burn, and 2, it will give us a head start. That's number 1. And 2, it'll guarantee that we're burning right at the perfect time. Because I mean, fuel isn't tight on this guy, but if it is, you definitely want to be able to do that. God, these guys just look so cool. I love this ship. It's an overkill on the things, but out in Elu, these aren't going to be near as as efficient as they are here. I don't know exactly how inefficient they'll be, but I'm sure they will be inefficient. So, we got 3 days. We can probably, let's go up to about 2.5 days. Maybe 1.5 days. Anyway. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do one more orbit to get on the exact... Where's our orbit? Come on, show me Kerbin's orbit. Okay, I was way off on that. So here's Kerbin's orbit. And right here, we're going to add a maneuver to burn to get his periapsis. We need to be able to see the periapsis. There we go. We're going to burn to get his periapsis right here to be, oh, we're 22 minutes from this burn. To be 1 day and 11 hours away. That's not working because we need to up our time a little bit. Oh, I said a little bit. Okay, how are we going to do this? Because it's telling us the periapsis that we'll be at, not the maneuver node periapsis that I want. Let's get our orbit back down here. Okay, let's add a new maneuver node. 3 days. Okay, that's too much. So let's bring it down. Say to here. 15 hours, that's too little. 23 hours. Okay, we've got it. I'm hoping that this works the way I think it is, which is if I drop this thing down here, it tells me it's 1 day, 11 hours, and 14 minutes away, which is about right when you add to that. I hope it's not that far from this, because that'll screw me up by 23 minutes. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to hit quick save. And then, can I change this? I can. I don't know how long the burn is, which sucks. But I can probably guesstimate here. It's an 892 meter per second burn. 2 minutes will give us 3,000, give or take. So 1,000 would be 40 seconds. So 900 will be about 35 seconds, 30, maybe 30. So let's go 1 minute before. And then we're going to close the alarm details. Oh wait, that's 1 second. Let's go 1 minute before. There we go. Close the alarm details. That would have sucked. And we're going to crank up time. Okay, at 40 seconds, I'm going to burn and see what this thing... Oh, it still did the alarm in 2 minutes. Well, that didn't do anything for me. So let's go ahead and speed this up. Yeah, we have so much power. These batteries are crazy. Overkill, but they're so light. Okay, 40 seconds. Okay, it's a 47-second burn. So we need to wait until 50 seconds would be 25, so about 26, 27, which is now. We're basically going to do what the maneuver node says. I'm cheating it a little bit towards prograde. Just because with long burns, I've discovered that I'm going to turn easy controls on here. So I'm going to turn them off because they're a little too easy. Easy by meaning fine-tuned. I hit caps lock to do that. Whoa, that was scary. We're apparently going to have a fairly close run into the moon. And done. Okay, now let's see what it says, how far away our periapsis is. It says it's 1 day, 12 hours, and 28 minutes away. That's too much. So we're going to spin around. We're going to burn him down to 1 day, 10 hours, and 56 minutes, so now we're a little too much. 53 minutes, 55. That's as close as I'm going to get. 2 minutes isn't going to matter in interstellar star space. What I was doing is I was comparing this 1 day, 10 hours, and 55 minutes to this number here. So when we get to periapsis now, we are going to burn like a MF. And I can actually plan this maneuver node now, which is awesome. And I can actually look at my optimal ELU transfer here. And I can see that it wants to be 2,107 meters per second. But it's going to be less than that because I just burned or almost 900. So it's actually going to be closer to 1,200 meters per second. So I'm just gonna crank this thing up to 1,200 meters per second and cover everything. Come on. There's 1,000. 11. Oh, I hate that when it deletes it. You know what I should be doing? I should have this here, and I should just go 1,200 meters per second. Okay, now let's see what this does here. This gets us fairly close to ELU, so it's got to be right. Looks like I could cheat a little on the timing because my periapsis is here. If I do it here instead, that should save us. No, that's horrible. Okay, never mind what I said about my periapsis. The program knows what it's doing. What is that an encounter with? Oh, that's an encounter with Jool. Oh my god. I wonder if I could turn this ELU encounter into a Jool encounter. Not that I need a Jool encounter. I'm sending probes galore to Jool, but just to be able to say I did it. And I might even be able to turn that Jool encounter into an Eve encounter. Send it in so this thing could fly by Eve. Okay, that's pretty awesome. But anyway, yeah, and my ejection angle, I need to look at this here. My ejection angle needs to be 112 prograde. See, I'm not going to trust that. My orbital inclination, see, this doesn't tell me my orbital inclination. So I'm just going to have to just let it go. And I'll fiddle with this when the time comes. But I think we need to do it right here. This is where the burn goes. And actually, it's not even... This is where the burn goes. This is where I plotted it. This touches the orbit right here. Does a really good job of it. I am not gonna muck with that. Okay. So... And that was... It took me, what was that? 40 seconds or so? 47 seconds to burn 800. So it's going to be right about a minute is that burn. So... we don't need to worry about our optimal ELU transfer window anymore, so let's go ahead and kill that. And let's take our final orbit around Earth. Kerbal, sorry. Let's take our final orbit around Kerbal. Let's do this the fun way. Let's hit F5, because things are going way too well. Let's go ahead and close this alarm. Let's hit F2. Whoa, free mode. Bye-bye, Kerbal. We'll be back in a minute. There we go. If we speed up time enough, we'll be back in a minute. And I just realized something. I'm not going to have a ton of time, and I'm going to be in the dark. Oh, I'm already aimed at... Oh, well, yeah, because it's the same direction as the burn I had. Okay. Enough being scared of... Yeah, because we're going to swing around this way. Whoa! I will never get sick of that. Okay, the maneuver node is in 3 minutes. Close alarm and unpause. And we've got to do this a minute beforehand. Come on, stop telling me how much oxidizer I have. You're scaring me, making me think that that's all I have is oxidizer. Okay, we've got 2,200 meters per second. We are going to do this burn at 1 minute. And looks pretty much perfect. Might as well do some science, I think. Oh, I don't remember which one science is. 2 is science. Yes. Yeah, I might as well transmit that, and that's worth nothing, so discard it. The new comm dish should transmit faster, which is important. I did this burn wrong. I was supposed to wait until 30 seconds before, but it's pretty much too late now. So I'm just going to commit to it and hope we didn't completely screw up our everythings. Let's see what our orbit looks like. Okay, looks like we're still good. We do have plenty of delta V to fix the mid-course correction later. Okay, good enough. He's on his way to Elu. Now I'm going to rename him. Oh, I can't do it here. We're going to still name him Dreloho 3, but we're going to say to Elu. Oh, there's 3. There's only 2 E's in Elu. Okay, well, enjoy your trip. You're leaving Kerbin's sphere of influence in 7 hours. You've got an orbit that I think is going to take you pretty close to Moon here, but you're not going to be within his sphere of influence, so we don't care. Now the optimal Moho transfer's turn. That's Dreloho 2. So let's switch to him. Now Moho is on the inside orbit. So let's go ahead and rename him. Yeah. Yeah, Dreloho 3 and then Dreloho 1. So yeah, Dreloho 2 is going to Moho. Rename vessel. To Moho and beyond. Okay, this window opens in 3 days. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. Okay, now what we want to do for him, though, is we want to do the exact opposite of what we want to do for the Elu one. We want to get Kerbin's orbit like this. We want to come back, and then when we get right here, we want to go this way. And we want to go so that, what is it? A day and 14 hours goes by before a maneuver node around here. So, once again, I will be back once I have that set up, because it's boring to watch. Should be roughly the same, yeah, 894. We've got a burn for about 40 minutes, so we're going to go down to about 25 minutes and then hit the thrusters. So, or 25 minutes, 25 seconds. These are all seconds. Sorry about that. I got a Skype call on a different computer, and I have no idea where I was. I was waiting for my orbit. Yeah, we're 19 minutes before the thing. Okay, and it's about a minute burn we're figuring. So, we want to go to 30 seconds. Let's resume the flight. Okay. Yeah, this mod is just amazing. I mean, look at those clouds. Moving separately, not only from Kerbin, but from each other. Just amazing. Okay, close the alarm. Let's get ourselves lined up. Let's go down to 30 seconds. And then we're going to touch this up once we... Oh, for some reason I saw that 3 and I thought it was 30 seconds. Okay, so we're going to burn here. We got 47, so it's actually a little bit less than I thought. Might be because we have a little bit less fuel than the other ship had. I'm not sure. Yeah, I wish I could set where this goes. It seems to always go right in the way. But what are you gonna do? Okay, that's the best this can give us. Now all we care about is how long it is to our periapsis, which is 1 day and 11 hours, and our thing is in 1 day and 14 hours, so we need to burn a little bit more. 14 hours and 10 minutes. 8 minutes. That's perfect. Okay, 1 day, 14 hours, and 8 minutes. We're going to set up our maneuver node here, and we just burned 900, but we only need 1506, so it's only going to be about a 600 meter per second burn, which is awesome. So, let's go prograde 600 meters per second and see what this does for us. It's kind of close. I think our ejection angle might be crazy on this one. Let's go ahead and see what that ejection angle was. 126 degrees. That's obviously wrong. Our phase angle is 270, which is 10 degrees off. Maybe we need to go a little bit this way. So let's do negative 10 seconds and see what that does for us here. It's probably fairly close to 10 degrees. Give or take. I need to zoom in on the sun. There we go. Looks like it's too much. And that's not helping. So we're going to bleed off a little bit of speed here. Or actually add some speed. Just to get a intersect. And that looks pretty darn perfect here. I wonder if we can... I mean, that's pretty close right there. Sadly, we're way over here. But I think because we'll be doing a correction burn here probably. I mean, we've got plenty of delta V, so we should do a correction burn here once we get that burn done. So we'll worry about that when the time comes. And actually, I think I got to go to my ELU transfer and do the same thing. So okay, well let's see here. We've got to aim at this. There we go. And we are we don't care about this optimal moho transfer anymore. Let's close the alarm details and let's crank up our time. We're a day and 14 hours away. And this is gonna it's not even gonna be a 40-second burn. It's gonna be closer to a 25-second burn, give or take. Pretty much perfect. Mostly just chasing the blue on the nav ball here. Making sure it stays as centered as I can possibly make it. Looks pretty darn centered, actually. .6. I really don't think it's going to matter. Let's go ahead and kill this maneuver node. There it is. Okay, you are dead. Okay, let's actually set up a maneuver node here to bring our phase angle, our normal. We need to go probably a lot. -7. Oh, I did prograde. Let's try normal. 6.2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2.4. 1, 2, 3. 0.1. That's getting very close. 0.2. I gotta actually go up. Okay, that's got to be pretty much 0, yeah. So there's that. And our... Oh, I was like, I want to set Moho as a target, but it already was. That also, though, pushed our orbit out a little bit, so let's go negative prograde a little bit. Which doesn't even get me close. I might have screwed something up here. But at least we've got an intersecting orbit. At the very worst, we'll do 2 orbits and take twice as long. Or maybe even burn in once we get here. So there's that. Yeah, and that's in a day. Oh, that's the Jool probe landers in a day. This is in 9 days. So let's go ahead and switch over to the Jool lander and see what we've got going on here. Okay, well, God, this guy has like no solar panels compared to the other ships we're dealing with. He's already aimed at his maneuver node, which is pretty awesome. When he performs that maneuver node, that's going to get him an encounter with Jool. That, wow. That's very interesting. There's an encounter with Tylo, which is this guy, that's going to give me an encounter with Lathe that's going to actually put him into the orbit that I want, basically. Although, kind of high. But that's crazy. So this is a 200 meter per second burn, which currently our delta V, it's about a minute per 1,000, give or take. It's actually really close to a minute per 1,000 meters per second. Although that's total. Currently, it's less than that. It's a minute per about 800 maybe. So 200 is going to be about 15 seconds, give or take. And we got plenty, so. So let's crank him up. We got to wait for this. We're going to get an alarm about our change here of Dreloho 2. Let's go ahead and just unpause that. We're 15 hours away from the Jool probe launcher. What did I say? 20 seconds? 15 seconds? Yeah. Okay, close that. And then we just got to get it to 15 seconds away. Whoa! Okay, it's not going to really matter that much. This far out in interstellar space, 15 seconds doesn't really make that much of a difference. Oh, and it's throwing up alarms because of encounters, I think. Okay, and look at that. The vertical velocity indicator's right in the way. 7 meters per second isn't going to make a difference. Let's see what we got here. Actually, maybe 7 meters per second will make a difference. I got it. In theory. In practice, it is very likely never going to actually happen that way, but that is pretty cool. We actually got a gravity turn. I'm sorry, not a gravity turn, an aerobraking free encounter based on 2 encounters with Lathe and Tylo. That is freaking awesome. Okay. So, let's we've got this. Actually, we don't have an encounter to do. We just have to wait till he gets there, which is in 193 days. So that's going to be a while. So what's next? We've got 8 days before the Dreloho 2 to Moho thing. I feel like this is going kind of long, but I'm probably going to cut a lot of this out. So I think I'm going to keep recording here. 8 days to this. Let's go ahead and jump to him and restore his maneuver node. I'm so excited that I don't have to do an air brake. It blows my mind that could possibly happen. All I gotta do is fix my my angle, but I'm gonna wait until I get closer because it's crazy hard to do something that tight, that far away. Okay, so you're not aimed even close to your maneuver node, so let's go ahead and do that. Let your solar panels reconfigure themselves. Just looks so cool. I love that ship. Okay, we're aimed at the maneuver node. It is 8 days away. It is a 314 meter per second burn. So once we get to 3 minutes, we'll do a test. That seems reasonable. Let's just crank up time here. Look at them flipping as the sun changes. That's awesome. Okay, clear the alarm. This far out in space, it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to do this right. Okay, it's a 30-second burn, so we'll wait until we're 15 seconds away. And now. And then hopefully we'll be able to plot our maneuver node to actually get a Moho encounter. That's going to have whatever less meters per second than we actually already have. Okay, 100 meters per second to go, and okay, fine-tuning time. Like 0.4 meters per second is really going to matter. Okay. Okay, let's kill this maneuver node and see what we got here. We need to retarget Moho here. Okay, so when we're here, and let's see, get that out of the way. Yeah, negative 0.01. That's the best we can expect to get, really. But we're already right here. Let's just do normal plus. Oh, not prograde. Normal plus. Oh, minus. Okay. It's a tiny little burn. I'm just going to do it now because we're so close to it. You know what? We'll fast forward to the day. Why not? We're not doing anything else. Okay. It is a 8 meters per second burn. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to worry about the 3 minutes. I was willing to wait to forego waiting a day. Okay, and to get it down from 1, I ended up going up to 3 the other way. There we go. Okay. Good enough. Our phase angle is not an actual number. Okay, we're going to add a maneuver here now. to slow us down. Presumably, bringing these things closer to each other. And if we can get this working, this will also slow down our encounter a lot. Okay, this is a 1,000 meter per second burn, and we've only got 744 meters per second. So we have to not do this burn and wait in orbit. Sadly. So let's go ahead and delete this. Clear the alarm for it. What we're going to do, though, is we are going to set an alarm. Actually, let's do the closest approach thing. It's been a while since I've done this. Add an alarm. Closest target distance. No. Yeah, that's what it is. No oh, you can only do that with a planet or with a vessel, which sucks. Okay, never mind. Then what I'm going to do here, actually I can do it at the descending node, because that's just past the thing. So when we get to the descending node, I'm going to need to recheck burn to meet Moho. Okay, and we'll add an alarm for that. And it's the next thing that's going to happen in... I did it at the ascending node. Let's add one at the descending node. AKA where I actually care about it. Need to recheck. Burn to meet Moho. And let's add an alarm. Yeah, what I think happened was, I think I left... Well, I know, I left Kerbal too late. Because when we get here, Moho will be here. And we want Moho to be here. And so we left too late. I must have keyed in the numbers wrong or something like that. I don't know what I did wrong. But no bigs. We still got 744 meters per second to play with. We just gotta... Did I do it wrong again? Dreloho 2. Oh, no, 28 days. So that's 28 days later. Huh. Just like the movie. Okay, I think this is a good place to end it. We've got a long way to go. You know what? First, though, let's go to the Space Center. All these orbital maneuvers have given our scientists time to research some more stuff. And we are going to keep chugging away at these things. I need these unlocked. I don't know what unlocks what, but this seems like a very reasonable thing to do to get these, because you would think that you would need orange tanks to lift some of these things up into the air. So I'm just going to research this and hope it unlocks this or something. So let's research it for 160, 10% of our science almost. And, well, hey, we've got the ability to unlock nuclear engines, which is awesome. More big stuff, landers, the cupola, and a bigger RCS tank, which I'm still not using. So one of these has got to unlock this. I'm going to guess it's this one. Although I don't know why you would need nuclear engines to unlock an orange tank. I also don't know why you would need these things to unlock an orange tank, but hey, that's the way it works sometimes. But it's definitely one of these. So we'll worry about that next time. I think we're going to, though, now that we have bigger orange tanks, bigger fuel tanks, I think we're going to, next mission, we're going to send up our Minmus refueling station. And that is going to be using the bigger Kethane, actually, that's the smaller one. The bigger, as in wider Kethane tank. The bigger... Is that another Kethane tank? It is just a storage. Okay. And actually, in theory, I could use this one, because we never keep Kethane in its raw form. But it would be nice to have a decent amount on hand. But then in addition to the large Kethane tank, we can start using these, which is basically half an orange tank. If it lets me do this. Basically, that's an orange tank, just twice as many parts. So I think if we do something like this, And this with this guy, apparently, because I don't have the bigger Kethane refinery. That'll be a pretty awesome setup. Stupid looking, but it'll work. So, but that's all for next time. As always, I am Fifth Horseman, and when I come back, I will, as always, talk at you later.